Tonight, we're focusing on the potential emotional impact of the menopause. David Salmon and his wife Linda had known each other for more than 4 decades. Last year, at 56, she took her own life. David thinks the menopause had profoundly affected her moods. I spoke to him and the founder of Menopause Experts Group, Dee Murray. But David started by telling us about Linda.
Yes, she was a lovely lady, absolutely. Sensitive, caring, beautiful. My lady Linda, I called her. She was my rock, my life. A little bit of anxiety, but the main change in her, I thought, was the menopause.
And what did you notice? What changes did you notice in her?
Yeah, she had hot flushes, just the usual, not over the top. Mood swings, crying a little bit for no reason. And the next thing she'd be singing away, whistling in the kitchen, which that was nice. So it were just different moods throughout the last sort of 4 years, I'd say.
And David, why do you think it was the menopause which affected her like this emotionally?
Yeah, I can't 100% guarantee it was the menopause, but I think it was a factor. But with that and the COVID, it was like the perfect storm. I couldn't get her to see the doctor because the COVID was on it. There was no where she could go. And it just came to the Saturday and she told me she loved me. And I think that's another way, I think, for saying goodbye, really. That was the last sort of time I saw her alive, really.
I'm really sorry, Dave, and we do appreciate you talking to us about this as well in order to raise awareness. I appreciate it. Really can't be difficult for you, so thank you. Dee, you've had experience, haven't you, in menopause matters. You know that it can affect women very differently, but there can be changes in mood and emotion and psychology just as much as there are changes in how we operate physically.
Absolutely, and it's so vitally important that people start to recognise the psychological and the emotional impact that menopause has on women. My heart goes out to David and listening to his story and some of the symptoms that Linda was going through. Of course, this is something that we hear all the time, and some women just really get to the point where they feel that this is sadly their only way out. Those mood swings that David was mentioning, you know, the highs and the lows, 1 minute just total devastation and the next minute elation. I think a lot of us can relate to that. You know, mood swings during hormonal flux, which is pretty much what's happening when you're going through menopause, and losing your estrogen, which our bodies pretty much depend upon. Estrogen is an amazing hormone and created by the brain. So, hormones are really just chemical messengers that talk to the rest of our body to keep us functioning.
Linda was 56 when she went through this and when she took her own life. But as David was saying, there were other pressures there as well. How do we know, will we ever know, what is menopause and what is looking after elderly parents? What is the pressure of having children? What is the other life events that are happening?
Well, I think that when somebody takes their own life, it's very devastating for the people that are left behind, of course, and often there are questions that remain unanswered, and very often we'll never ever know the real reason. And I think if somebody's having a tough time through menopause, and it sounds like Linda was having a particularly tough time and very up and down, it can catch you by surprise. So I think that talking about menopause, this is what's going to help us all, both men and women. We need to be much more open and vocal about what it is that we're going through and not feel embarrassed about talking about this subject.
David, what's it been like listening to Dee talking about this?
Yes, it's a bit of an eye-opener, really. You know, I have learnt a lot since my wife passed away. I do attend a mental health organisation. It's called It's Worth Talking About, and it's a load of chaps. It's a big, wide organisation, and from there, that's helped me personally get through, is paramount. We've got to get it across to people, men and women. They both need to talk. And again, besides saving lives in the marriages, it all comes together. And hopefully, as like this programme today, more people get aware of it, and we might better save a few more people going through literally what I'm going through. That would be a big bonus.
David, we really appreciate you raising awareness and you getting people to talk and you having these conversations. Thank you so much for talking to us today. And Dee, thank you too for your expertise and your advice. We're going to keep this conversation going. I know this is only the start of it, but for today, thank you both.
Thank you.
David Salmon and Dee Murray speaking to me earlier. If you need support, reach out. One place you can turn for help is the Samaritans. Their details, you can see them. They're on the screen now.